the back of my mind, I always wanted to see this happen. I didn't know that I'd be able to spearhead, you know, an American sport bike company. It's quite a thrill to be part of it.
Well, the new company was started on February the 1st of 1993 when the agreement was reached with Eric and Harley-Davidson. From that point, we went into the design of a new motorcycle that eventually became the S2 Thunderbolt. The relationship is that Harley-Davidson does the marketing, sales, and distribution. The people at Buell and the people at Harley-Davidson kind of got together and decided what should our first product be. We had to have more power. We really needed to take a look at the design, the look, the styling of the motorcycle. Over the next 18 months, a whole new motorcycle emerged. It had 18% more horsepower than the previous Buells. And the last thing that Eric did and Eric's crew was take a whole new look at the styling. And although it still had that Buell signature, it had a new and exciting look, and we were really pleased with how that turned out. We took the guys, the two assemblers, to the new building before there was anything in it and said, this is where we'd like you to put the assembly line, and asked them to lay it out in a way that they would produce the most efficient motorcycle. So we sat them down with some engineering people to talk about some things that they needed to consider when they were doing that. We have modified it a little every week since we started production in June, but it basically is the same layout today. Like a lot of companies, we're using computer-aided design, or CAD. This allows us to get drawings much, much quicker and helps the engineers in the designing process. It also allows them to do some analysis of the parts after they've designed them to help them determine how well the part's going to function when they put it on the motorcycle. The area that we have for our R&D development, where we make some of our prototypes, is pretty small, but we can do a lot of our own welding. We have a small machine shop. We manufacture our own molds. We use a molding process for our fiberglass bodywork called RTM, or resin transfer molding. Because of our complex shapes on our body, we have to have seams in our molds, and then those seams have to be body worked off, sanded off, and then filled in prior to being painted. Once the parts have been prepared for paint and they go into our paint booth, we're in the process of putting together a whole new system and moving into a new, adding on to our building and increasing our available capacity. We're now at the point where I think we have 12 assemblers on board and we're producing 8 motorcycles a day. Our current layout is that we do some sub-assembly work on some benches offline, and then those parts are fed to the line on the main line, and they're put on the motorcycle by the assemblers. We installed our own dyno last year. We're always looking to find more power in the motorcycle, in the engine. We've got an engine technician and a number of engineers that have got a lot of experience and expertise in powertrains. So we do a lot of powertrain work with regard to the 1200 Sportster motor. When you ride this motorcycle, you feel a lot of mid-range power and a tremendous amount of torque, so that when you're riding out on the road and you've got curves that you're going around and hills that you're climbing, this motorcycle does so much in the area that you ride a motorcycle. You know, it's 0 to 30 and it's 0 to 40 are good times. It's got great 40 to 60 roll-on and great 60 to 80 roll-on. And that's where people ride a motorcycle. This is a motorcycle that was designed by a man who was a professional racer, a professional motorcycle racer. So it's got some of those features that Eric has always looked for in what a great riding road bike would have, that had some characteristics that he liked to see when he was on the racetrack.
Attention all Buell employees. Anyone who's interested in watching the 1000th motorcycle come off the line, please report to the assembly line area now.
More people. 1, 2, 3.
It's hard to keep from jumping up and down, screaming and yelling.